welcome to the McDonald's Hacer Education Tour virtual workshops. We, and I mean me, and all of us, we're so excited that you're joining us today. I'm your host, Julissa Calderon, and soon I'll introduce you to our partners from Co-Speak. You're in for such a treat with those guys. I know it's been such a long 24 hours, but we're here and it's good. Listen up, 2020, like I already said, because yesterday was not the beginning of it. 2020 has been rough, and we celebrate you for giving it your all. This year, McDonald's has committed to doing more for you, for your teachers, your counselors, your parents, and your journey to higher education. Whether it's providing tools and resources to succeed in class or virtually, providing more scholarship opportunities to students, more access to workshops. In 2020, McDonald's is all about hashtag Hacer more. We're here to inspire you, move you, inform you. We're going to honor those who are all about hashtag Hacer more, and we're going to challenge you to hashtag Hacer more. We want to hear from you on socials during this whole workshops, okay? There's a chat below. I see you guys are already going. Keep it going. That's what we want you to do. And don't forget to post and tag at McDonald's. Also, at La Julissa, that's me, at LA Julissa, at Co-Speak, and more importantly, hashtag Hacer more. But I also want to let you know, I want to get you in on the secret. Listen up, I know you're probably not paying attention. This is the time that you have to pay attention now. We have some very cool stuff coming your way. Don't forget to check your DMs when you hashtag us. You might win something. Again, hashtag Hacer more, hashtag Hacer sweepstakes, at McDonald's, at La Julissa, at Co-Speak. That's right. Anyway, let us know you're here. Let us know you're enjoying the workshops and share on your social media. Make sure your page is also not private so that we can connect. We want to see your beautiful faces and let us know that you see us, you hear us, and that you are ready to hashtag Hacer more. And we want you to ask questions. So activate the chat, go for it, talk all you want, do what you got to do, be nice. But one last thing before we get everything started. Have fun. Remember, have fun. Anywho, remember I told you we're going to be switching things up, right? So we're going to go ahead and jump into something really like exciting for me and for you. I think I'll just pass it on. Yes, that gets me so excited. I guess they forgot to include me, you guys, in the passing the papitas. So I'm just gonna quench my appetite. All right, so listen up. Remember, I told you we have some cool things happening. Specifically, we have some really, really awesome people coming to talk to you. And the first person that's coming to talk is Carlos Ojeda Jr., aka Chu. He is co-creator of Cool Speak, and he has so many great things to share with you all. He dedicates his contributions to his family, his parents pushing him, and to La Chancla. So with further ado, let's go ahead and pass it on to Chu. He's going to motivate you guys, and I'm going to sit back and get motivated myself. Take it away, Chu.
Thank you, Julissa. So excited to have you all here. All right, I'm so excited to have you here. My name is Carlos Alberto Ojeda Torres Rivera de Jesus Jr., right? But you don't have to worry about that. You can call me Chu because that's what my friends and family call me, right? And I got to be honest with y'all. I was a bit of a knucklehead. I got in a lot of trouble. When I was a kid, man, I was always in trouble. You look, I ran the streets. Look at me. Look at me. You know you like to look right in the streets. You like the chucks with the black socks. Man, I got in trouble all the time. I was in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension, detention, any kind of entry my school had, I was there. Got to the point that they want to have my mom and dad come to school and talk to my teachers. I didn't want either of them to come to school. My parents were crazy. My mom was that militant little Puerto Rican mom that if you don't do what she told you to do, ella te mata, she kills you. Don't laugh. She had a semi-automatic chancla. She was gangster. And my dad was the opposite of my mom. My dad was this tall, diesel, evil-looking, dark-skinned Puerto Rican man, so ugly he deserved to be on America's Most Wanted. I didn't want either of them to come to school. So they did like rock, paper, scissors, and then my dad came. And I knew he was going to kill me, but I figured he wasn't going to do it in school. So they gave him my file. He looked at it. He looked at me. He looked at it. Yo, he starts to turn red. My father's a dark-skinned Puerto Rican man. He's not supposed to turn red. And in this situation, he's not saying anything, which is freaking me out. Because the way my dad communicates with me is by yelling, throw out the trash. Where's the remote? Even when he tried to communicate emotions, I love you. That's the way he talks. And in this situation, out of my father's mouth comes the sweetest, most beautiful voice I've ever heard in my life. As he looks at my vice principal and he goes, can I have a moment alone with my son? And I look at the vice principal and said, you can't leave me here with him. He's going to kill me. But my vice principal looked at me and said, peace, you're on your own, kid. And he walked out. And I started freaking out, but I calmed down because I had a plan B, because every plan A has got to have a plan B, and my plan B is simple. My dad's old. I'm young. I can outrun that fool. And as the door began to close, I was like, ready, set, go. And suddenly, my dad began to move faster than I've ever seen him move before in my life. It was like a Puerto Rican version of The Flash. He was like, un poquito de salsa, and he gripped me up. He slammed me in the chair. My whole life flashed before my eyes. And in this scary situation, I did what any young, brave Latino man would do. I called my mom. I'm like, Mommy, Mom. And my dad's like, stop crying. But you know what happens when you're in the middle of crying? You try to stop crying, you start doing this. And I was freaking out, and all of a sudden, my dad said something completely unexpected. He looked at me and he said, Tu abuela. And I was like, Grandma, is she here? Because I could use all the help I could get right now. And my father said, Tu abuela vino de Puerto Rico. She came from Puerto Rico. She spoke no English. She came here with my 6 brothers and sisters chasing the American dream, going up and down the East Coast looking for work, wherever she could find it, from one field to the other. She'd work 13, 14-hour days. Her hands, when she came home, her hands would be bloody. Her feet would be swollen. Her clothes would be ripped and dirty. And the very next day, she'd do it again. And when my father abandoned us, have you ever wondered why you don't know your grandfather's name? That coward's name will never be mentioned in this house. What kind of man leaves his children? What kind of man abandons his family? I was a boy doing a man's job. I raised my brothers and sisters. I worked those fields with my mother. My hands will be bloody. My feet will be swollen. I've worked in a factory my whole life so that you and your 2 sisters can have something better. Eres mi único hijo. You're my only son. Eres mi tocayo. You're my namesake. Tú tienes mi nombre. You have my name. I love you. And I was like, oh, Daddy loves me. My dad looked at me and said, I'm going to give you two options. I was like, dude, that's what's up. He's like, you could stay in school and live, or you could drop out and die. I was like, look, you don't know options, but I'll stay in school. But staying in school wasn't easy because I didn't necessarily have people that supported me. My 10th grade geometry teacher called me the greatest piece of garbage she'd ever seen in his life. I was told that I would never amount to anything. I had a teacher tell me that I would either die or drop out, but I would never, ever, ever hold a diploma in this hand. And I believed him. Because people, when someone tells you a lie enough times, you start to believe it's true. You start to believe that's all you're good for. But check it. From the moment you're born until you die, someone's always going to try and label you. Short, tall, fat, skinny, pretty, ugly, gifted, trouble, gay, straight, confused, illegal, undocumented. It's up to you to decide whether you live up to the labels that people try to put on you, or you rip those labels off, tear those labels up, and throw those labels away. Don't ever, ever, ever let anyone tell you who you are or who you will become. That is your destiny to fulfill. Nobody else's. Don't ever, ever, ever let them define you. You define you. Period. End of statement. You and only you. You feel me? If you're feeling what I'm saying, throw it up in the chat. Your voice is your power, but you know what? Nobody was telling me that. So I didn't believe. I thought I was garbage. And by 12th grade, I wasn't doing anything until one day, this beautiful girl walked by, and I had a crush on her. And she went to the guidance office, so I went looking for some guidance. And I walked in, and there was this crazy Puerto Rican lady there, but I didn't care about her because I wanted this girl's number. And when I got the number and I was about to walk out, the lady just jumped right in front of me and said, "You're going to go to college." And I very respectfully, very politely responded to her, "Are you on crack? Do you even know who I am? I'm not the kind of person that goes to school. I'm not the kind of person that go to college." She's like, "Don't worry about that. You're going to go to college." I said, "Yo, miss, you're crazy." And she was. She called my mom at home, spoke to her in Spanish. She called my dad at work, talked to him in English, started talking about college. Everywhere I went, she was there. Everything I did, she was there. She wouldn't leave me alone. She was stalking me, yo. I was like, "Yo, I need to call the cops. What's the number for 911? Okay, some of you got that. It's okay. It's virtual, I know. But this lady, she believed in me. She told me that I wasn't garbage. She told me that I could be something more than I was. She told me I was the hopes and dreams of my family. She made me feel hope. She invited me to come visit her school. We went up and we took a tour of the campus, and it was beautiful. She took us into a room where they were going to start about the university, and all the smart kids, they sat up front. Me, I sat in the back listening to my music, and the lady comes up to me. She's like, "Do you want to come to school here?" I go, "Definitely." And she's like, "Well, you need to take the SATs. Now, what I didn't know then and I know now is this. I'm deaf. I only have 5% of my hearing. I have to wear 4 hearing aids, 1, 2, 3, 4, that are connected to my phone so that I can hear. Without them, I cannot hear, which is great when your wife is yelling at you. You're like, "Sorry, baby, I got technical difficulties. You're going to have to come back later." But it's not cool when I'm your age and everybody wants to label me a problem, behavior problem, attitude problem, this problem, that problem. Every problem they could come up with, except for the one that I had, a hearing problem. I went undiagnosed until I was 23 years old. And when they diagnosed me, they told me I only had 47% of my hearing. That meant that half of my life went unheard. That meant that half of my life went unresponded to. That meant that half the "I love you" that my mom said to me, I may never have even heard. And how does someone get to this point? Simple. How does someone get to 23 without anyone realizing? They labeled me. They labeled me shy. Does any part of me even remotely look shy to you? But I stopped raising my hands in class because every time I made the teacher repeat themselves over and over and over again, it made me feel stupid. So I stopped raising my hands. I stopped talking to my friends. I stopped talking to my mom and dad. And when people would come over, "¿Qué le pasa, Chu? Why is he so quiet?" "Oh, he's just shy." It's a phase. It was torture. It nearly broke me. I wanted to end it all. I wanted to quit. I didn't want to keep going. I knew that something was wrong, but I couldn't figure it out. And I know that there are people right here, right now, on this stream that feel the same way. Think about it. We got a pandemic. We have social unrest. We have a crazy election. We have so much going on. 2020 has brought everything on us. We're away from our friends and family, social isolation. We got to do this virtual learning. I got to speak to you this way. And I know you feel like, man, I can't take it. I know you're feeling those moments when you are on your knees and you just want to quit. I'm telling you, in those moments, you got to hold on. Hold on to the things that matter, to the people that matter. Because in those moments, when you're on your knees and you don't think you could do it anymore, those are the moments that you overestimate the challenge and you underestimate your strength. Because you are stronger. You are stronger than this moment. You are made of greater stuff. You stand on the shoulders of people who have sacrificed everything for you, who have sacrificed everything so that we can be in this moment. It is in our genetic making. We are stronger, and you are not alone. If you look to the left and to the right, you got squads, you got family, you got friends. You have heritage, you have history. We can beat this. We can be better than this. You're having problems in school, bound together. Create study groups together. Study for tests together. You have needs, your family needs, holler out at people. Work together. Together we are stronger, better. We can do more, be more, vivir more. You got to hold on to the things that matter and to the people that matter. And the person that mattered to me was my mom, my dad, my sisters, and that crazy Puerto Rican lady who believed in me. She made me fill out the SATs. And the moment I took them, I thought I failed. But you know what? First time I took the SAT, even though they called me garbage, even though they told me I would never amount to anything, they told me that I was trash, that I would either die or drop out, but I would never hold a diploma in this hand. First time I took the SATs, I scored an 1,100 out of 1,600. That meant that I could go to college. That meant that I could get a scholarship. That meant that I was not garbage. It meant that I was the hopes and dreams of my family, just like each and every one of you is the hopes and dreams of yours. She made me fill out applications to every school imaginable. Months later, she came to my house. I pulled out all the letters of acceptance because I got accepted to every school I applied to. She looked at me. She's like, where do you want to go to school? I said, I want to go to yours because you believe in me, so it's my turn to believe in you. And she pulled out a piece of paper, put it on the table, and the moment I read what it said, I started to cry. Full tuition scholarship to school. And that was one of the moments that changed everything because on graduation night, I was wearing a cap and gown. And when they called my name, Carlos Ojeda Jr., I walked up on that stage like I owned the place. And as I got closer and closer to the podium where they were giving out the diplomas, I started thinking about that teacher. The one that told me that I would either die or drop out, but I would never, ever hold a diploma in this hand. And you know what? She was absolutely right. Because I'm left-handed and I grabbed it with this damn hand. And at that diploma, there was like 100 Puerto Ricans screaming my nickname, Choo Choo! And I ran into the audience looking for my family, and I couldn't find them until finally the crowd parted. I saw something I had never, ever seen before. My father was crying. And before I could say anything, he gripped me up violently like he didn't know how to hug somebody. And my mom took a picture because she said this was the moment that changed everything. My dad held me in his arms. It felt like forever. He grabbed the back of my head and put our foreheads together. So our eyes would meet. He looked me in my eyes. He said, Tú eres mi hijo. El hijo de Carlos. You could be whatever you want to be, go wherever you want to go, as long as you choose to. No dejes, don't let them put you in a corner. No dejes, don't let them take your voice, mijo. Tu voz es tu poder. Your voice is your power. And then he said one word. Vete. And that was the moment. This right here was the moment. This was the moment that I realized that I needed to do more, that my mom and dad had sacrificed everything for me, that crazy Puerto Rican lady was going above and beyond the call of duty to help me, that this was my moment. This was my moment right here, right now, that I needed to be more. I needed to luchar more. I needed to vivir more. I needed to hacer more. This was my moment, just like this is your moment right here. I no, but this is the moment that you rise up. This is the moment that you do more and be more. See, I grabbed scholarship and I never, because that scholarship changed everything for me. I went to school. I became the first person in my family's history to graduate from college. Got a business management degree with a focus in human resources, a minor in marketing. Got involved in every organization on campus. Graduated. First person in my family's history to graduate from college with honors. Got my master's by the time I was 23 because I realized in order to rise up, I had to wise up. I went back to school, got that MBA, and by the time I was 25, I was the youngest and only Latino professor in the history of my College of Business at my university. I became director of a Latino Business Resource Center and helped start hundreds of businesses in Pennsylvania. Left there to become a full-time motivational speaker, traveled all over the country. Started my first business at 25, my second at 27, my third at 30. A couple years ago with my boy Ernesto Mejia, my brother from another mother who you will hear shortly, we started Cool Speak, the youth engagement company. We are now a multi-million-dollar company traveling the country, inspiring young people and parents and teachers to be their best, to do more, to hacer more, to vivir more. We get to work with amazing organizations like McDonald's, Hacer, and the scholarship, all because we want to inspire you to do more, because life is not measured by the breath you take, but rather by the moments in life that take your breath away. I know how I measure my life. We're hopeful that after today, you will measure yours differently. You will do more, hacer more, vivir more, and be more for you, your family, and our community. One love. Thank you. I'm so excited to have you here. And I want you to join us. Be part of our... We have a hashtag that we're throwing out there, right? And yeah, there's some prizes, but the reason I'm telling you is because we want you to post pictures of your family, the people that you work hard for, the people that inspire, and tell us why they inspire you, why you're doing more for them, why you're going to vivir more and hacer more, why you're doing those things. We want you to post on social media, use the hashtag, throw it up there, be a part of our movement. We want to hear from you. And if I'm not mistaken, Julissa, they got a chance to win some prizes if they use the hashtag, right? So not only are they going to be part of our movement, but they can also possibly get an opportunity, a chance to win some prizes, right?
That's right, Chu. Give it up for Chu, y'all, because that was so motivational and so inspiring. And I'm seeing you guys chatting. Yes, I'm in there. I'm seeing you guys chatting and saying how his words have inspired you guys. So continue to chat, continue to stay here. Also, continue to hashtag I said more at Julissa, at Cool Speak, at McDonald's. We got some cool prizes for you. I promise that was so inspiring, because I remember the time that I had a teacher just like Chu who believed in me. And I feel like we always remember those teachers that believed in us. And then we also remember the teachers that unfortunately didn't believe in us and maybe motivated us in a different way. Chu, do you remember both of those people's names? I know you're calling her the crazy Puerto Rican lady, but do you remember both of their names?
The crazy Puerto Rican name is Miss Faye Ortiz. I actually ran into her many years later. She hit me up on Facebook and she was like, I hear I do crack. And I started laughing because, I used to joke around and call her crazy. And she's like, I heard I'm crazy. And I go, yeah, you crazy. You believed in me. So I got to meet her, and Mrs. Fuchs, who was the guidance counselor, she changed my life. And I actually have gone back and talked to other kids that are just like me in the school because she called me and asked me. And whenever she calls, I respond. All right. So we have these amazing teachers. You had one. Can you tell us about yours?
Yeah, my teacher was Mrs. Johnson. I actually connected with her 2 or 3 years ago via social media when I kind of got popular, and she saw me and she was like, I know her. I remember teaching her, and she taught me for 2 years. But those are the teachers that we never forget, and and the things that they tell us, the things that they share with us, you don't forget those things. It's beautiful. But speaking of beautiful, I'm sorry, what?
No, because they do more. Hashtag I said more. That's exactly what they do.
There you go. It's true. They do more. They go a little bit above and beyond, which I cannot stress how much when we have one teacher in our lives that just goes above and beyond and hashtag I said more, it stays with us. And speaking of teachers that stay with us and that deserve some kind of recognition, I'd like to go ahead and see this teacher who definitely deserves their recognition.
We're so excited to have you here and have you be a part of this. Really quick, because all we have is that your name is Mr. Rodriguez. Well, what's your full name?
Well, that's my full name, Jose Rodriguez, no middle name. And I teach at Trans Mountain Early College High School. I teach dance and theater and art and PE.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty much, it's a small high school. We only have about 400 students. They're working on their high school diploma and their associates of science at the same time. So, you know, since we're small, we all kind of pitch in to teach different subjects. Okay? But as soon as I started teaching, and it was the greatest choice I ever made in my life, which is saying a lot since I had a lot of life before that, I'm like, just like I'm here right now. All teachers are teaching from home, but I asked my principal, I said, I got to teach from my classroom, man. You know, as far as I know, I only got one shot at this life, right? As far as I know. So I want to make sure that I do everything I possibly can to help these kids get an experience. You know, I really think that they learn through their experiences. And so part of the challenge of being a teacher is to create experiences. So I think schools need to look like museums, right? I mean, when I first started teaching, I taught science. So I made my classroom look like a science museum.
I might not have known better, but there's a lot of people in your life that do know better. And I've got a couple people that want to hop on this call, and they just want to share with you how much they appreciate you.
What's going on?
Welcome, everybody. I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate you, everything you do for our students at TMAX.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, there's really no words to describe how amazing you are, and appreciative of you as a person and as our TMAX team members.
Honestly, thank you so much for everything that you do, for all the time, the effort, the dedication, but most of all, the heart that you put into things.
You've impacted me and the kids' lives so well, so I just want to say thank you.
We're so proud to have you in our district. You are amazing. What you do for our kids is amazing, and we're so lucky to have you.
You've shown immense loyalty and guardianship towards both the dance team and the school as a whole. Your character has proven to many across the campus what a home away from home can truly feel like. You have created a safe space for many who never thought you could find such a place in a teacher. You have truly left a mark on not just myself, but many other students currently at and graduated from TMAX. I thank you for your mentorship, your caring and giving nature, and most of all, your will to never give up on both yourself and your students.
You're one of the best teachers I have ever had. You've impacted both my school life and my out of school life, and I'm sure I'm not really the only one. You really care about your students, and you want to be a support for those who don't actually have it. And I really think of you like my father. You were there a lot for me last year, and it was super hard on me. And I was trying to work, and I had to balance school and work and dance, and you were always super understanding if I couldn't do anything, like if I couldn't go to like a practice or I had to leave early. It was just all like super helpful, and it really made a difference for everything.
First and foremost, I want to say that TMAX, its staff, and all of its students are more than blessed and grateful to have the privilege of knowing you and not having you just work out of school, but to teach lessons not only about the subjects that you are hired for, but also teaching what it means to grow as a person, how to learn from any adversity we may face, and how to bounce back from the setbacks and turn them into lessons. You've shown us how to have compassion towards one another. You weren't just a PE teacher, a coach, or a dance instructor. You were a mentor, a father figure, our class sponsor, and above all, our friend. A lot of the work you put into our school and your students goes unnoticed to some, but not all. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. You are phenomenal at what you do. You impact our lives deeper than you could possibly know. And with that said, thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you, Hector. Thank you, kid. And if I could say something real quick too, Hector, kind of directly to you and everybody. Yeah, Hector had a little rough audition. And Hector, you're the reason I started a program like the Dance Crew.
Joe?
Yes.
If you look at this room, You see the type of individual you are, the type of teacher you are. Right? And I want to thank you because a teacher like you changed my life, and you, my friend, are changing the lives of all that you meet and all that you touch. So thank you. And as an appreciation for all that you do and all that you are, on behalf of McDonald's, we are giving you a $1,000 gift card to Walmart towards school supplies, as well as McDonald's merch pack. All right. So we want to thank you for everything you do, and we want you to keep doing it. We wanted to honor someone who really made an impact. And Joe, you are that individual. For gracias por hacer more, and for the impact that you make from all of us and all the students that you touch. Thank you very much, Hermano.
Rodriguez, thank you for what you do.
I appreciate all you guys, really do. It's well, let me say something else. But bring me back to Hector. Is that and Keandra and Lauren and all those kids. Last school year, as if this school year isn't bad enough. Last school year, because of other stuff going on with my family, was probably the worst year of my life. And I told the dancers at the end of the year, you guys are the ones who really pulled me through. So I want to thank the dance team for all their hard work and for inspiring me and for being such incredible people. So thank you, and to all my colleagues as well. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, that was amazing. I love giving back and showing teachers and showing just people who have helped us along the way to give them their recognition, or as we like to say, give them their flowers while they're still here. And all of you students who are still in school, make sure you do that. You can do so many different things to show your teachers you appreciate them, especially after a year like this year when they're trying to do everything they can to make sure that they still provide the education that you all need. All right, guess what? We got to a really, really cool part of this whole workshop. Remember I told you guys to post on social? Well, I hope you guys been checking your DMs because we are to give away a set of AirPods. Like right now. I told you guys. All right, so drum roll, please. I guess I got to do it. Boom. All right. The first winner is Cesar A. Zulirbina. Hey, you just won some AirPods. Thank you for tuning in. Look at him. He's ready. He is focused. He got his headphones in. That's what you got to do. You got to go ahead and focus. Watch all of us talk our stuff. Watch Chew. Well, now Chew's done. But I got someone really cool next. And yeah, chat with us. Get on this chat line. Like, talk about your teachers. Go ahead. I love how most of you guys are talking about congratulating Mr. Rodriguez. You guys know him. That's amazing. So stay active. Keep on hashtagging Hacer More at me, La Julissa, at McDonald's, at CoolSpeak, because this is not the first prize we're giving away. Okay, I can't say no more. I can't say no more. All right. Moving on. Remember I told you we had some cool speakers for you guys. And I think the next speaker is up. His name is Ernesto Mejia, and he is one of the co-founders of CoolSpeak as well with you. He is a product of Mexican immigrant, a family man. Ernesto went from college dropout to college dean. That's a big deal. And Ernesto likes to enable students to use education as a platform to change their families' lives. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into Ernesto. Talk. What you got?
Hello? Hello? Anybody there? What up, y'all? This is Ernesto Mejía Macías. Soy orgullosamente producto de Padres de Zacatecas, Mexico. For those of you that don't speak Spanish very good, let me translate. Call me what my kindergarten through 6th grade teachers called me, Ernesto Mejía Macías, proud product of Mexican immigrant parents from Zacatecas, Mexico. Arriba Zacatecas, mi gente. That's where my family's from. I'm very proud of that. It means a lot to me. On top of the fact that I'm the product of Mexican immigrant parents, I'm the product of an elementary school janitor and someone that worked the orchards and picked apples. Those are my parents. And because of them, because of their sacrifices, because of the work I put into my education, not only am I a college graduate, times 3 maybe, but I'm able to make my family proud. And I said more because of my education, because of my preparation, but more importantly, because of the sacrifices my family made. So I want to get some information to you really quick because we have a short amount of time. So here's my first question to you. How are y'all going to pay this tuition? $35,000 for a private institution, $21,000 for a public out-of-state, $9,000 for a public in-state. That's tuition. That's just tuition. I want you to think about that because the Hacer scholarships are here to help you out. What does that mean? The Hacer scholarships, we're offering 30 scholarships to the grand total of $500,000. It's a nice chunk of change. Started October 5th, goes through February 3rd. Don't be like my own children. If I say February 3rd, you try to start February 2nd, knowing you ain't going to finish, but you be trying to reach out to that teacher. Teacher, I need a letter of recommendation. Sure, when does it due? Yesterday. Get on it. Don't do that to them. All right? Give yourself ample time so that you can prepare and you can get to where you need to go. Now, here's one of the most important parts that I'm going to say. Where do you go to find the scholarship? Go to www.mcdonalds.com/hacer. If you don't speak Spanish, you can go to www.mcdonalds.com/Hacer. Either page is going to work, okay? That is where the scholarship is located. That is where you find all the information. Why am I repeating it? Here's why. We're going to get to the end, and the student is going to ask, hey, where can I get the scholarship? Like I told you like 3 times. So again, where you get the scholarship, www.mcdonalds.com/Hacer, Hacer. It's right there, okay? Take a picture, post it. I don't care if we're gonna post it, we can post. Yo, all right? Now, make sure that you have that information because it's gonna be crucial, okay? Now, the scholarship itself, let me tell you about the requirements. You need to be a high school senior with a 2.0 GPA. Even students like me, well, I mean, yeah, I probably didn't qualify in high school, but students similar maybe, a 2.8 GPA isn't asking too much for a scholarship that is of this magnitude. Now, if you're below that 2.8, I don't need you to feel bad. Might not be your time yet. If you're above it, good for you. But just know this, just for the record, I had a 1.7 GPA in college. I got 3 degrees now. Didn't work out for a minute, but we made it work out, okay? Younger than 21 years of age, U.S. resident, eligible to attend a 2-year, 4-year college or university or technical school full-time, and 1 parent of Hispanic heritage. Now, I know some people get all hyped and be like, yo, I got 2 parents. Does that increase my odds? Or what does it do? It only makes you more Hispanic. I don't know what else to tell you. It doesn't do anything else. Only 1 parent of Hispanic heritage. If you have no parents of Hispanic heritage, don't worry. We ain't trying to discriminate around here. We have more opportunities and more scholarships for you as well, okay? Make sure that you know these requirements. This is all that you need to know to start applying for the scholarship that's now available, okay? Now, let's go over the breakdown of the scholarships. It's super simple. 20 scholarships totaling $5,000 each, and the rest are 2 for 10, 20, 25, 50, and 100. However, I want you to think about this. Imagine yourself going home and yelling out to your mom. I'm Mexican, so this is what I call my mom. Ama! That's what I call my mom. Ama. Ama! The Hacer scholarship just gave us $100,000 to pay for my tuition. Imagine what that would do. Imagine the reaction of your mother, your father, your grandma, your grandpa. And you know we're real like telenoveleros. Like we go all telenovela. Like we can't even say go to the bathroom. I'm going to the bathroom without being all dramatic. Voy al baño. Like not. Imagine what we would do with a $100,000 scholarship. Imagine the load that you took off your parents' shoulder. Imagine the pride, the excitement. I want you to take that home. And even if it's the $5,000 one, who's going to give you $5,000 to pay for your education? The Hacer scholarship is who might be able to give you that, but you need to do your part, okay? So that's the breakdown of the scholarship. Now, let me share a few resources with you to make sure that you're using them. And again, we're going to reiterate this. Where do you go for the scholarship? www.mcdonalds.com/Hacer. or Hacer. Take your pick, okay? That's the site for the scholarship and other resources that we have available for you there. The next one is FAFSA. For my seniors, if you've not applied for your financial aid yet, you're behind, and you're missing out on potentially some free money that's available to you. It's on a first come, first serve, so make sure that you're applying and make sure that you get it done yesterday if you haven't done it yet. The Hispanic Scholarship has a load of resources for you. Not just additional scholarships for all students and every single student, but support for your parents, some resources to help you understand why you want to go to college, what you can do, sessions. There's a lot that they have to offer. Big Future, which is the College Board. If you're, I don't care what year you are in high school, if you're not using College Board, you're missing out on a phenomenal resource that's going to help you figure out where to go to school, how much school is going to cost, what can you start doing now as a freshman in high school to make sure that you increase the odds of getting accepted to the school of your dreams. That's on College Board and Big Future. CapEx is another resource to help you, and it focuses also on private institutions, but it allows you to learn more about what you need to do to get to college. And the last one is our company, which I say our as in yours and ours, which is CoolSpeak, the youth engagement company. We have a lot of the resources listed here and others as well. These are all free, and you can just check them out online to help. Look, I'm done with the I don't know what to do. We had parent sessions, and I'm going to tell you what I told our parents. I'm not allowing you to say and blame your parents, well, my parents didn't go to college, so they couldn't help me, because that's a lie. My mom helped me, and she only went to 6th grade. But she taught me how to work hard. She taught me how to get up early. She taught me how to stay focused. She told me how to be responsible. She showed me how to be respectful. She showed me how to take advantage of an education. And so did my dad. And sometimes we like to judge a book by its cover, but we don't necessarily know about it because we just see the outside. I want you to make sure that as of your resources, you consider your parents one as well, because they've prepared you to get to where you're at right now, okay? Now, additional resources that I told you I was going to make sure that we gave some for everybody. We have the McDonald's Black and Positively Golden Scholarship, and you can use that website there to find it. We have the Asian Pacific Islander Scholarship. So those are other opportunities, but here's a big one. Archway to Opportunity. If you work at McDonald's now, or your parents work at McDonald's now, there are resources such as advising, counseling, support, college tuition reimbursement, paying to learn English as a second language. That is all part of the Archway to Opportunity that McDonald's offers to you as an employee. I want you to take advantage of these resources because they're there for you to use, okay? Now, I want to give you real quick, because I'm really short on time, some information for each grade level, because I want everybody on here to take something away. For my 9th graders, start taking challenging course loads and start your community service hours now. We have the blessing to be on the scholarship committee, and nothing looks better on a scholarship application than to say you volunteered or helped out at the same organization every year you were in high school, as opposed to just your senior year. For my 10th graders, prep for your standardized testing, because the test results could actually pay for your college tuition in itself. Stay involved in extracurriculars, because it's important that you stay involved, okay? So that's for my 9th and my 10th graders. For my 11th graders, let me get over here so I can get to it, sorry. For my 11th graders, narrow down your college choices, where you want to go, what you want to do, how you want to do that, what you want to do with that, sorry. I'll eventually get there. And prep for standardized testing again, because it's crucial. You're going to be taking these tests, and they can make a world of a difference for you. So make sure that you're preparing for them, okay? For my seniors, I have a longer list for you because you're in crunch time. Regardless of what's happening now, I would use this pandemic as something that not only you write an essay about, but you realize how resilient you are and how much it helped you prepare to take on anything else that comes your way in the future. On top of that, the last round of standardized testing, I want you to apply to 5 to 10 colleges, including a stretch school, one that you didn't have. You might think, well, I don't know, I might not make it. Give it a shot. Apply for FAFSA if you haven't done so already. And you're hearing me right, and you're seeing this right. I want you to apply for 75 different scholarships. You are correct, 75 different scholarships. One of them should be the SED scholarship. Why so many? Imagine if you just get 2 or 3 out of those 75, but they end up totaling 20, 50, 30, I don't know, a whole lot of money. Compare that to doing a part-time job. So why don't you take it on as another part-time job? And then if you can, dual enrollment, and more importantly, finish strong. I know that senioritis kicks in, and it kicks in early, and even more so because of the situation we're in. However, don't let that be the reason that things don't go the way you want them to, okay? Now, I just want to end by telling you this. I'm very proud of where I come from. I'm very proud of the sacrifices that my mom and my dad made for me to have a better life. And I know a lot of you are going through that right now too. So I want to make sure that they get the respect and the appreciation that they deserve. I am my parents' American dream. This is Maria Rosa Macias Saldivar y Fortunato Mejia Flores. I told you before, we tend to judge a book by its cover sometimes. When you see me, you're like, well, this guy's got it all together because he's over here talking about all this stuff now. What you don't see is that I grew up in an area where the KKK used to visit my house. I went to 6th grade twice, once in the US, once in Mexico. My father was murdered when I was 13 years old. When I was 16, I contracted a disease called Guillain-Barré syndrome that left me temporarily paralyzed and in a wheelchair. I came back to the US in that wheelchair because I lived in Mexico when I got sick. I went to college because my brother told me to. It took me a year and a half to get booted out. I lost a full ride. Everything was paid for. I'm a single dad, not by choice. That's the way the cards were dealt. And, I was a single dad for almost a decade. And I hate to hear when, you know how those Latino dads are, because I'll be the first to reply, yes. I cooked, ironed, cleaned, sewed, and washed for my kids. So I am that dad. And it's the least that I could do after all the sacrifices my parents made for me. It's the least that I could do after all the discrimination and challenges my parents went through. I want you to at least apply for this scholarship because you could change your family's life. My college degree has changed our family's trajectory. My college degree has allowed me to do what I love for a living. I want you to be able to do that because I know my parents never had that opportunity. My mom had to clean my elementary school. My dad had to go pick apples after getting out of his factory job. I get to do what I love for a living because of the sacrifices that they made. The least I could do is apply for a scholarship. I'm asking you to please do the same. And again, I'll close out with the words of my grandparents and my parents. Mi nombre es Ernesto Mejia Macías y soy su humilde servidor. That just means that I'm your humble servant. If there's anything that I could do to help you along this journey to make your educational dreams come true, all you have to do is holler. I hope that you took all this information in and that you put it to use, because this scholarship, on top of a degree, on top of your dedication, can truly change your family's life. Thank you, and I hope everybody took that away. Well, Lisa, I don't know if you got anything out of that. I kind of had to go through it fast, but what'd you think? Did you get something out of it?
Are you kidding me? Look at me. First of all, shout out to you for overcoming all of those things, all of those setbacks that were supposed to set you back, but instead propelled you forward. I can appreciate that. I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of that information. I hope you guys were paying attention. I was paying attention. I wrote some stuff down, and I'm not even going to apply for the scholarship. So I hope you guys are paying attention. I hope you're writing everything down, because what's better than free money? I don't know. I'm not sure. Is there anything better than free money, Ernesto? Because I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I felt like your words were poetry, right? And speaking of poetry, I like to go into some spoken word that I certainly can't do, but I think this woman can do. Are you a fan of spoken word, Ernesto?
Absolutely. And the reason I appreciate it more is I mess up a Roses Are Red poem. So you got to have some skill to do this. So nothing but respect here.
All right. So we are going to go ahead into some awesome spoken word. Her name is Melania Lucia Marte. And just listen up. I'm ready.
If your American dream is bigger than it's supposed to be, listen up. This is for the all-nighters and the way too early bus riders. The ones paying homage to the past by hustling like there's no tomorrow. Los hijos de inmigrantes who become the bridge between la luna y el sol. This is where you shatter stereotypes and glass ceilings, where you honor abuelita's name and your parents' struggle. How their hearts smile at the sight of your success. You, the link that breaks generational chains. You, the heirloom, their legacy in motion. Confirmation que todo tendrá prosperidad. A promise to be more, hacer more, vivir more. So when they ask you where you're going, tell them in a voice that echoes back across borders and oceans that you will go as far as you choose to.
Guys, that was so, I don't know, I'm inspired. I hope you all are still with us. I hope you're inspired because there's so much more ahead of us, and things like that spoken word, and what McDonald's is doing and Cool Speak is doing, all of these things should motivate you to have a better future for your parents and for your grandparents to say, that's my kid. Look at that. That's my grandchild. They did good. It's just making those people proud that came before us and making yourself proud. And speaking of being proud, we got into the second part of this. And I've been telling you guys, I hope you've been listening to me. I hope you're not sleeping. But I've been saying to hashtag I said more, at us, at Julissa, at McDonald's, at Cool Speak, because we've gotten to the second part of our giveaway. And I want to go ahead and give you something right now. So for all of those people that's been paying attention, the first giveaway is going to Abaloneda. I think that's how you say it. That's in my Spanish, my Spanish slang. Abaloneda, congratulations. You just won some AirPods. Look at that. I love this picture. Go you, go you. And he hashtagged I said more sweeps, which means you be paying attention. I love somebody that pays attention. All right. Last but certainly not least, this one I'm excited about. I think I'm even sweating a little bit, you guys. This is the last and final giveaway. I am so excited to tell you guys about this one. I hope that you're here. Tell your friends to tell a friend to tell a friend that you did that. The last winner of today is going to receive, let me do my little drum roll. A laptop. That's right, you heard me. A laptop. So if you didn't hashtag and if you didn't add us, you lost. Snooze, you lose. The last person and the person that is winning today is, who is it? _Brett. Shout out to you. I love this. It says out here repping Team X and supporting our very own Mr. Rodriguez. Hashtag I said more. Hashtag I said more sweeps. Congratulations, Brett. You just won a laptop. No, seriously, you just won a laptop. That is such a big deal. And all you had to do was just tune in, be focused, take notes, and hashtag us. Like, you did that. And look at you. You came out winning today. How amazing is that? Check your DMs, everyone else, to see if you won. We're still giving away things. We're giving away $25 McDonald's Arch cards. Check your DMs. Make sure you're public also so that we can go ahead and reach out. Also want to make sure that you guys continue to remember that the scholarship is going for a little while, right? This is not the end all be all today, but you have to remember that if you want free money for your education, to make your parents proud and to make your brother proud and to make yourself proud, go ahead and look into the McDonald's I Said More scholarship. So much free money for you guys. This is such a big deal. I just also want to know, how are you going to hashtag I Said More? Like, what else are you gonna do? Are you gonna be doing those community service hours? Are you going to be helping other students when you guys are applying for these things? Are you gonna be taking different tests? Are you gonna take harder classes? How are you going to hashtag I Said More? We want to hear from you. I hope you guys had a great time today. We are not done. If you still have any questions, this was the party, but then we got like the after party. And the after party, you can ask whatever questions. We're going to go ahead and answer them for you if you still are a little confused or you still need more clarification on where to go, what to do, and what's next. Thank you guys so much. Stick around. We're going to be here. We got some more things to do. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the after party.
That's right.
The after party. After the party, at the after party, after the after
Yeah.
party, we end and we just leave. Right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. How are you guys feeling? How y'all doing? What's up? Talk to me.
I'm hyped. I'm excited. This means a lot to me because I know how much it can impact a family. So when you hear me, I saw somebody comment like, "Dang, you can hear it in his voice." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm that weak dude that be crying at cartoons," but because it means so much to me, because I can imagine one of our students in El Paso right now that's tuning in, and because of somebody like Ruth, they're tuning in, and if they win a scholarship for like 25 G's, 50 G's, man, that can make a huge change, a huge impact for them. So shout out to everybody else tuning in right now.
And being a first generation college student, I will tell you that scholarship, it didn't change my life. I was the first, but I wasn't the last. My niece and nephew, my niece is about to start her PhD. My nephew's getting his master's. My kids already in their minds know they're going to go to college. Me going to school changed everything in our family. And these young people that are on today, this could be the first step in them changing the destiny. And Ernesto said the right word, the trajectory of their family from now on to forever. So it's super excited to be here.
So
we got a couple
helpful.
questions.
I mean, I couldn't have gotten to school. I wouldn't have gotten through school if I didn't have some scholarships. So I'm trying to tell these kids, listen to me, listen to us, go get this money. What's the question? What's up? What's going on? What's the first one?
I think we got a question. E, will their parents' legal status affect their chances to win a scholarship? Because they're always asking for tax forms. So the student doesn't really say anything about their status, but they're asking if their parents' legal status will affect their chances to win.
Right. As long as the student meets the requirements that were shared, being a U.S. resident, then they're good to go. And that should be the case for their FAFSA as well. So don't believe the hype and don't believe somebody that tries to tell you the opposite. And if somebody does tell you the opposite, it depends on the state you live in too. If you live in Texas, you have your own FAFSA. And, you know, for our students, regardless of where they're coming from or what their situation is, there is FAFSA. So the resources that we share, like the Hispanic Scholarship Fund, you're going to find additional scholarships there that everybody is eligible for. So it shouldn't impact it, and make sure that you ask the right people though, okay?
Yeah, we also had a student say, hey, what if I don't have a parent with Hispanic heritage? And Ernesto actually said it. We actually gave you a bunch of resources above, and you can go to our website to find them. There are other scholarships out there, whether you use capex.com or you do go to collegeboard.com or go to the CoolSpeak website. There are tons of scholarships out there, and there are tons of directories where you can find them. So today, yes, the Hacer scholarships for Latino students, but there are other scholarships out there that Ernesto shared that are super important. So you just got to go out there, got to do it. You got to use that little thing called Google. I'm sure everybody knows it. You use it, you go behind it, but those resources that Ernesto shared will be super beneficial.
Well, the other thing to keep in mind, y'all, is you don't have to wait till your senior year. Start looking for scholarships. There's scholarships available for a high school freshman. And we were just talking about this earlier. It's not just about the GPA. What's going to make you stand apart from the other 4.0 student? Community service, involvement, clubs, activities, types of the course load, all of these things, you have to stand apart. But what if you apply for scholarships as a senior and you say, I've received a scholarship every single year I've been in high school already? That's going to increase your odds of getting more.
Absolutely. I wish I did that. Look at all these things I wish I would have done. I wish I had you guys here so that I would know these things when I was in school.
You and I both, for real.
What is the name of the spoken word artist that dropped the bars on the video we sent?
Her name, do you guys know her? Her name is Melania Lucia Marte.
Yeah, she's fire.
That was fire.
She killed it. She inspired me. I love hearing about like how we have to show up for the ones that came before us. Like the way she worded it was just so perfect.
That's right.
Here's the funny one, E. This one's for you. Wait, what did Ernesto say that freshmen have to do? Which is hilarious because I can hear a freshman saying it like, wait, what Ninth graders, what? Can you give us a quick review of what the ninth graders, freshmen got to do? Because apparently a freshman just asked.
Every grade, y'all. It's as simple as Googling scholarships for high school freshmen, sophomore, junior, senior, and keep on applying. Here's something that we don't hear enough, and I want to make sure that you're aware of. Let's say come your senior year when you apply for the Hacer scholarship and say you're eligible for the Hacer scholarship, your opening statement is, I've already applied for 50 scholarships before my senior year. What does that say about you? What does that say about how important education is to you? What does that say about your determination? You have to keep it in mind because you might not win them all, and odds are high you're not, but it just takes that one to keep you going. We used to do programs where students were awarded a $500 scholarship, and they would lose their minds. Like, man, I'm going there. I got it. How much does it cost? I don't know, but they just gave me $500 because that hypes you up. It makes you feel like you can cover everything, even though you can't. That's why I gave those numbers at the beginning to make sure we know what we're getting ourselves into, okay?
Can we still receive additional scholarships if we receive other scholarships other than the Hacer? So if they get the Hacer scholarship, can they be eligible for more scholarships?
Yeah, it's going to vary, y'all. So for the Hacer, it shouldn't be an issue, but other scholarships, it'll be based upon your financial aid award. It'll be based upon how many other scholarships. So you do have to disclose with the Hacer scholarship what other scholarships you won so that we know, or even if you've applied for, if you're pending, so we have an idea. Because obviously, while we'd love to overload somebody with a ton of cash, we want to make sure that we're spreading the wealth so everybody can get that education, okay?
Mm-hmm. Well, Chu, I see a really good question actually that I know I don't know the answer to. And it is, what if you get the Hacer scholarship and you take a gap year? Can you use the money the next year or does it expire?
Ooh.
That's actually a good question.
That's a loaded question, right? That's a really good question.
Especially during the pandemic with everything going on, right? Everybody's like, man, I might want to wait a year to go. That is a very good question. I actually don't have the answer. I'm wondering if Ernesto has it.
We're not sure. So here's the beauty of asking questions that stump people. I always encourage students to ask questions that are going to stump people. Get our contact information or leave an email or post that question so that we can get back to you with the 100% accurate answer. I don't like giving false information. I don't like saying yes only to backpedal and apologize later. So let me find out, because that is a phenomenal question, and especially right now, and especially if you're considering that gap year to travel abroad or do something different, even though right now might not be the best time to travel, still, that is something that's beneficial.
It was Ruth that sent that, so it's a good question. We know Ruth. So Ruth, if it's the Ruth that I think it is, we're going to holler at you and give you the answer to that. So very good question. Julissa, you see any other ones out there?
I feel like I see a question that's kind of funny that I want to ask, even just to get Ernesto's response and to see his face. And the question is so simple. Where do we go to apply for the scholarship?
Never.
That's a hard one, Julissa. That's a hard question to answer.
Just look up Hacer, Hacer scholarship. It's going to take you to the site, okay? That's the first thing that you can do. And obviously the website, mcdonalds.com /Hacer is where you need to go. But keep it simple, y'all. The internet is way too easy to use sometimes. So even if you didn't get the URL, even if you don't understand where the .com, where the Hacer comes, just look up McDonald's Scholarship for Hispanic Student. You're going to find it, okay?
Yep. I don't know. Do we have any more questions? I do see a question for me. Can I ask myself the question?
Go ahead.
Yes.
And it's asking if I have a teacher that inspired you. Who was it and how did they inspire you? I guess the student was sleeping while I was talking earlier. But her name was Mrs. Johnson. Again, she actually, so cool of her. This was in elementary school, but I still remember her. She ended up going to like the next grade with us because she loved her class so much. And she asked if she could teach the following grade. That does not happen happen. And this was, like I said, in elementary school. And sure enough, 2 years ago, she reached out to me through social media, which is hysterical because I haven't been in elementary school for many years. But she remembered me just as I remembered her. So I like the impact that she had on my life, how sweet she was, how she believed in me. You don't forget those things.
No. Mm-mm. Yeah, I would challenge people tuning in right now, if they're listening, to give a shout out to their teachers, because some of their teachers got them in on this session. Some of them might not be their classroom teacher, but they do activities, clubs, organizations, and give them a shout out, because Mrs. McLean, my second grade teacher, allowed me to better love and appreciate my mom when she was the janitor of my elementary school. I ain't never gonna forget that lady, man, forever.
You got to give a
shout out to Mrs. McLean.
Yeah, Mrs. McLean is good. And especially now with the pandemic, we got to give as much love as we can. Before we leave, don't forget, fill out the evaluation. They put the link in the chat, but then also we have this nice little QR code right over here. If you scan that QR code, you get an evaluation. You're going to get a free electronic version of a book that me and Ernesto wrote that's called Getting Geared. That is a college readiness book, gives you all the steps you need to take in order to go from here to college to Hacer more and be more. So make sure you give us some feedback so that you can get that free ebook.
Awesome.
Lastly,
thank you, Ernesto. Go for it. Go for it.
Shout out to our girl Jessica Montoya down here for killing it, and shout out to Julissa for rocking it too. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be able to share this opportunity.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, Chu, for your inspiring story, for sharing that with us. Thank you, Ernesto, for giving us all of that information and for telling us about your setbacks that have propelled for comebacks. I was inspired by it. I know if I was inspired by it, the students are inspired by it. You guys, thank you for tuning in, for being here with us, for hashtagging Hacer More, for adding me at La Julissa, at CoolSpeak, at McDonald's. Make sure to check your DMs. Congratulations to all of the winners. You did that. You did that. And make sure to continue to hashtag Hacer More. Don't forget, you have time for this scholarship. Do not forget. Do not wait till the last minute. Do it as soon as you can. Do it on your Christmas break, your Thanksgiving break, but just get it done. And also, just really quickly, we have some more workshops coming up. Make sure to view the schedule if you want to tune in. If your parents want to tune in, you can do that. That's coming up and it's happening. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you for joining us today.
Take care, y'all.
Peace.
Bye, guys.